When a German company says, founded in 1945, the archives are incomplete. East Germany protest. Romanian Revolution. I'm calling a crusade to recapture Jerusalem. Right. To recapture Jerusalem. Right. Peasants already suffering from high taxation. 10% of their income. The Pope. I'll take that, my lad. Countries looking back at their history after 20 to 200 years. I don't know if I like being associated with this. Native people. What are you doing on my island? European colonizers. Mind your own business. Like and subscribe right now, or you will face the mighty Skrull. The Titanic's Baker. Chernobyl fire chief. Serving a catastrophe by getting completely loaded. When your Belgian officer gives an order in French, but you only speak Dutch, so now you're surrounded by yellowy gas with shadows shouting things in German. Guess I'll die. Takes the throne at age 14. Turns Brazil into a progressive global power. Leaves when told to. Refuses to elaborate further. Tinder girl. Only interested in dating trillionaires. Guy from Weimar Republic. When you block the Europeans from using the Silk Road, but then they end up discovering the Americas. The hand-cranked pencil sharpener in a nutshell. What I'm using. Versus what I feel like I'm using. George Washington. All men are equal. His 123 slaves. Regardless of their color and origin. Right. George Washington. His 123 slaves. Regardless of their color and origin. Right. 38 minutes into Anglo-Zanzibar War. UK. Peace. Zanzibar. Okay. Napoleon in the afterlife. You know, I was God once. Henry VII when his second wife thought they were getting a divorce. The fat controller laughed. You are wrong. 1880s. Having problem with pain. Not feeling good. Having trauma and other mental problems. Freud. Cocainum. Teenagers learning about the Roman Empire. Is this the greatest power in the universe? The Umayyad Caliphate. Conquers 95% of the territory of Spain. An army of 200 Visigoth hobos in the mountains. The duck you are. Getting awarded a Blue Cross for disarming a German bomb. Juliana just needing to take a piss. The Habsburgs marrying cousins. Egyptian pharaohs marrying siblings. Look what they need to mimic a fraction of our power. Axis in maths. Axis in history. Barges in. Single-handedly liberate the Aegean Islands. Beat the Ottoman Navy. Still in service after 100 plus years. People don't even know you. The Russians have broken through. Steiner's attack will stop them right. Steiner's attack will stop them right. MacArthur. Ready to nuke China. Truman. Medieval people. Plumbing. What that? Minoans. 3,000 years earlier. France. Exists. Britain. Everyone. Slavic countries. Gunshots. Everyone. Why are Slavs so backwards? French women. Wait, why do we go to jail or get killed by our husbands if we have an affair and the men can do whatever they want? Napoleon. You simply have less value. Alexander the Great. I'm going to conquer the known world. A mosquito. The duck you are. United States. Soviet Union. A third world country just trying to vibe. Point of view. You're British and you've never had an Independence Day because you're the reason Independence Days exist. Jews living in the ghetto of Venice. Napoleon abolishing the ghetto. Lies dying in bed in the palace of Nebuchadnezzar II. Bequeaths his kingdom to the strongest. Refuses to elaborate. Dies. 6-year-old me studying history out of pure curiosity. 26-year-old me with a degree in history, making history-related memes. Fundamentalist Christians are attacking Pokemon due to evolution contradicting the Bible. The Vatican gives its blessing to the Pokemon franchise, since it's based on ties of intense friendship. My dad looking at the wine list, me explaining how Serbian farmer getting bottle stuck up his ass led to the collapse of Yugoslavia. The troubles in a nutshell: 100% British and Irish beef. The British, the Spanish, what are you doing in Mexico? The French creating the second Mexican empire, mind your own business. Escapes from Elba, declares himself emperor, gets defeated at Waterloo, abdicates and is sentenced to exile, leaves for St. Helena. Russia, a warm water port. Pasify after she realizes the bull her husband King Minos owns are actually kinda cute. I'd like to share a night of incredible sex with you. You make jokes about the Queen of France and her courtiers. The king sentences you to death. You're given the choice of how to die, say, old age, and are spared. Having a space program to outdo a rival superpower. Having a space program to land on Mars and spread Christianity to the Martians. Poetry in the Romantic era. I wandered lonely as a cloud that floats on high over vales and hills. Poetry in the Chinese warlord era. You tell me to do this, he tells me to do that. You're all bastards. Go duck your mother. Goes to war without carrying a gun. Position is being overwhelmed. Refuse to take cover. Manages to move 75 injured men to safety. Is regularly under fire when moving the injured. Survives the war. Congratulations. You are being civilized. Please do not resist. White boomers describing what was life like in the 60s. Black boomers describing what was life like in the 60s. Axis in math. Axis in history. How men sing about women in the 1950s. How men treated women in the 1950s. This is literally 1964. Brazilian military. Congratulations. You are being rescued from communism. Brazilian people. Brazilian military. Please do not resist. American 90s kids. Bosnian 90s kids. Empires under great conquerors. Empires when the conqueror dies. A deaf Lakota man doesn't hear the order to hand over his rifle at Wound Knee Creek in 1890. US 7th Cavalry soldiers. Kill them. Kill them all. Tens of thousands of Bosniaks are systematically killed during the Bosnian War. The global community, who could be responsible for such heinous war crimes? Serbian paramilitaries. I did, and I enjoyed it. Been a long time coming. Nobody, absolutely nobody. American schoolchildren in the early 1940s. America in the 90s. Post-Soviet states in the 90s. When you realize you are the only political enemy of Joseph Stalin left. The Crusaders after taking Jerusalem. We did it, Patrick. We saved the city. You hear that Alexander the Great is dead, and you can revolt now. Thebes. 12 days later he arrives at your city and completely destroys you. Thebes. What gives people feelings of power, money, status? Being neutral for 200 years. Venetians. Duck you. Huns. Duck you. My dad just driving the car, me explaining how a driver taking a wrong turn led to 2 world wars and over 100 million deaths. No one. Ferdinand Magellan when he arrived in the Philippines on 1521. You shall know Spain. Standard model for ancient Greek status. When the Soviets had a underground gas fire burning for 3 years, so they use a underground nuke to close it. Soviet problems require Soviet solutions. When the trees are speaking Vietnamese. When the skies are singing paranoid and puking fire. The Mongols. Duck Europe. Genghis Khan. And I took that personally. Pirates raising the ransom. Caesar's entourage. Caesar. 16th century Europeans. How do you get around so fast? Venice. Water. Portuguese colonists. Other European traders. What are you doing in India? The Croatians setting up a colony in Goa. Mind your own business. When the Russians you recently gassed get back up. Run away. Hawaii being an independent country for 103 years. Texas being an independent country for 3 years. Promise me you won't cry. I promise. Rome wasn't built in a day, but burned in one. I won't cry. Soviet Union when they heard JFK was assassinated by a guy who once lived in their country. Am I involved in this crap? Everyone peacefully asleep on April 18, 1775 in Massachusetts. Pull ever. Goes what mother duckers. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed your stay. See you again tomorrow at 5 PM GMT for more saucy memes. Check out the last episode or the playlist if you haven't already. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Much love.